in Tell Without Borders, we have someone all the way from Saudi, Wael Altorabi. He's the COO of Qewam. Hi, Wael. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all good. Thank you so much. So I've heard that you've made 3 exits.
Yes,
Is this true?
yes, it is.
Okay, so very quickly, tell me about your journey.
I've been a serial entrepreneur since I was 14 years old.
Wow.
That's when I really started kind of playing with stocks and investing here and there. And then at 16 is when I made my first company. I was living in Australia at that time. Definition of 90% failure rate is that's me. I failed my 7 businesses that I've ever created in a row. And then my 8th, I was very lucky to have my first exit. It was in the advertisement sector. And then I got into the mobile application in the fashion industry. I sold it to a company that was acquired later on by Souq. Then Souq got acquired by Amazon. And then my latest company is the Saudi's fastest exit. 8 months. I took that company from 0 to 3.5 in 8 months. I sold that business as well. And then now I'm just building Qewam.
Wow. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't really have an exit strategy from the very beginning. So is this something that you put in from day one when you build your startup? Or is this something, I would say, that comes in coincidence? Like, how does this happen?
My belief is day one, you should focus on building the company itself. I'm building the product and building it.
Okay.
It's good to have it at the back of your mind and start with the beginning in mind. But it's definitely before you go start asking for money. Is at the end of the day, a startup for an investor, regardless of who they are, is supposed to make money at the end of the day. They're supposed to pay back on their investments. So how you're going to exit is an important question the moment you start to look for outside money and bringing it in the business. And being asked this question, you definitely need to have an answer for it. Maybe not like a concrete plan, but at least have thought about it. At least have a clear way on showing how you'll get there.
Okay, so as a serial entrepreneur, do you see Wael on a personal level? Does your personality change from one startup to the other? So are there certain characteristics that you see, oh, here we go again, same certain, I would say personal traits that come up each time you open a startup?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. I know it's a bit complex. All right. So you founded so many different startups, okay? Of course, each person develops on a personal level and on a business level throughout the years. So do you have certain personality traits that either were the same or maybe let's say, for example, you were very bad at time management and then you acquired the skill. So is there anything that changed in Wael throughout the years when opening one startup to the other?
Yeah. So I'm an introvert.
Okay.
I had to learn how to become an extrovert and use that skill when it's needed. But definitely a lot of different skills have developed in Wael because yes, there isn't a certain number of skills that if you don't have it, you cannot be successful. But there is a certain number of skills that you need to get a grab of and you need to have it kind of down packed or find someone that can help you in. And without those 6, project management, people management, if you're not good at those kind of skills, the concrete skills of building a company, and it's are usually around managing people, then yeah, it's going to be very difficult for you to do so. Me personally, I had to learn many different skills, and I assume it was the reason why I had so many failures in the road. But sales is something that you need to learn, and I had to learn it. I as an introvert,
I understand.
Exactly, and that's a skill that I learned as well. Being able to publicly talk, being able to kind of talk to people and actually have that empathy with others, with your team, being able to manage things well, and then I'm not the best person in following up, but I do have my assistant that does so and make sure that she does follow up. And being a successful entrepreneur is just being okay with who you are, figuring out that, and then the things that you're not good at, find the people that are really good at it and just to help you with it. And me personally, that's the kind of a strategy that I adapted.
Very interesting. So growing up in Australia, we don't really hear much about the Australian startup ecosystem. So tell us more about it. And are there major differences between Australia and the MENA region?
The Australian ecosystem is built around SMEs more than the startup side. And it's very strong in SMEs. The educational system is the goal of the educational system in Australia is to graduate you knowing whether you want to be in academia or you actually want to open up a business, and they train you how to become that person from grade 6.
Okay.
So in grade 6, for example, that was the moment I started my work experience, and that was part of my actual curriculum. And knowing that that system is strong. No, it's different, yes. It's growing, yes, but it's built around SMEs. That's why maybe the startup ecosystem hasn't heard about it so much. The small businesses, there is more number of SMEs in Australia than there is in other countries around the region or even a global perspective.
Okay.
Australia is very good in education and building small businesses. Startups, not yet.
Okay, you're getting there. All right, so tell us a little bit about Qewam, what you're building right now.
Cool. So Qewam, we basically a research and development company. So we research the journey that the founder goes through, and we develop different products and solutions that interact with the different stakeholders, so those products can become scalable and generate the revenues that we need to. So today we have a product called Qewam OS. This product is directed to incubators and accelerators. We just launched another product called Qewam Space. That product is directed to founders. And what we're doing is we're building an ecosystem of all of those different products to connect the digital ecosystem to the founder. So we use a founder-centric approach, and we make sure that anything that the founder needs is on demand.
Okay.
So that's why today being in Egypt is we really need to, the moment, like I define success, the moment I connect all of the world's ecosystems together with the same username and password, that's when I succeeded.
Okay.
And that's how I define success for my team as well.
All right, so I heard that this is your first time in Egypt, which was a surprise to me. So tell me, what do you think of Egypt so far, and what do you think of Startups Without Borders?
I've been a follower of Startup Without Borders since day one I started Qewam. The idea of having founders with no passports is something that's very close to our mission. And it's one of the reasons why I was like, yep, gotta be on that one. Egypt market is a huge market. True. And there is a lot of different founders that have started here even before the Saudi ecosystem started. And that's why what I was surprised with is the limit or the level of innovation that exists here. Startups that I'm meeting are space tech, medicine tech, and all of those different industries that are just starting to grow on our Saudi ecosystem. So that's really surprising for me, seeing the founders and the different industries that they're operating in, different innovations, true innovation that has been, and it's just exciting.
I hope you're meeting really good startups today, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me as well.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.